Haere mai and welcome to the Freedom Institute of Higher Education in New Zealand. My name is Susan Stevenson and I am the Research and Academic President at Freedom. Today I'm going to talk to you about the Higher Education School at the Freedom Institute of Higher Education. At Freedom, we are very lucky and unique in being able to offer programs in higher education that support people to become professional educational facilitators, curriculum designers, academic managers and academic leaders. These programs were designed after a 10-year research program was carried out by the New Zealand Curriculum Design Institute. As a result of that grounded theory-based study, the programs that we offer were developed and they fulfill definite and identified needs for those working with adults, those working in tertiary education, and those working in higher education. As one of our learners recently said, every university lecturer needs to do the educational facilitation program. What's different about these programs? The educational facilitation programs are based in psychology, education and sociology. They develop in those taking these programs a capacity to build unique relationships, deep understandings of how learning occurs and how they can help their learners that they might work with, whether they're in New Zealand or other countries, to achieve at the highest levels, to achieve faster and to optimise how much those learners achieve. We believe that those working with adults, tertiary and higher education learners need to understand learning and how people learn deeply in order to help their students to achieve. Our educational facilitation programs are offered at 3 levels. The first certificate levels helps the person who is in a tutoring, lecturing or facilitation role. At the second level, it supports people who are program leaders in those kinds of programs. And at the highest level, it supports people to become mentors and supporters to other people taking the professional educational facilitation journey to understand themselves, learning and learners, as well as their field, so that they can optimise what people who are with them are actually learning, and that they can do it in quantifiable and qualifiable ways. We are firm believers in this program and have seen outstanding changes and developments in the educational facilitators graduating from these programs. I do recall one learner recently saying, this is a program that every single university lecturer needs to do. They need to understand how people learn and how to facilitate a learning journey, not just the subject matter in which they have studied. Our other programs in higher education focus on curriculum design. One of the things that the research showed is that in most countries around the world, higher education develops leadership capability in all sorts of fields and industries. So if those leaders are being produced in our higher and tertiary education systems, it's absolutely critical that we understand and can develop curricula that actually will support and optimise as well as accelerating the learning going on in our higher and tertiary institutions globally. We believe in professional education and understanding of how a curriculum is developed, how it is built with a community of stakeholders, including the learner, and how it can actually achieve great change and benefits, not just for the learners, but for the stakeholders, for the community, for the nation. Academic managers who actually ensure the quality of education are also in a chief role where their leadership and capability is important to achieving outcomes. In New Zealand, we have become concerned and want our students to complete programs and to pass well. We want them to achieve as much as they can. We want them to get jobs or to move on to higher education or to have lives that are satisfying to them. All of these are legitimate goals of education, and these are the kinds of concerns that an academic manager must manage and support to actually happen. At the highest levels, academic leaders are in positions where they advise governments, They advise people in all walks of life, all sorts of fields and professions. But we think it's important that these people understand the nature of learning and ensure that the resourcing and the supports are in place, that the discussion of higher education is not just about being cheap or being quick, that we also looked at the depth of learning. All of our higher education programs are focused on national development of quality higher education and tertiary programs, in optimising learning and accelerating it. Today we live in a world where we want everything to be instant, but the journey that someone embarks on when they enter a higher education program is or can be life-changing, and that life-changing can be of great benefit not just to their individual, but the others in their profession or industry and field. If we shortcut these programs and we miss important outcomes, as a nation and as individuals, we are likely to miss out. If we cannot manage and we cannot support people to achieve their potential, we are likely to find they become outcasts in society. Our higher education programs are about lifting professional standards. They are embedded from a base which suggests that those working in higher education should not just be experts in their own content area, but they should be expert facilitators of learning, they should have practical experience as well as being researchers. In our higher education programs, we support those who come into these programs to reach professional level understandings and capabilities, to reflect and review on their own work, and to work out what is an acceptable professional level and what is not. We believe this work is underestimated but critically important, and it is a deep area of passion at the Freedom Institute of Higher Education. If you are passionate about education and what it can do, we would encourage you to enrol in one of these programs, come on a study tour, do the program part-time. We look forward to meeting you and following your educational journey towards supporting these amazing outcomes for our country and for yours. Thank you.